touch base with them. Somebody you haven't touched base with in a long time. And probably be a good time after this to do it. But does anybody certainly is welcome now to any stories or anything that you'd like to say? You know, of course, my wife wouldn't want me saying anything because I'm so long-winded on things. So, anything, if anybody has any stories or anything they'd like to say.
I got something to say.
Yes, sir. I tell you, if you could say your name and how you knew Rusty, so everybody that doesn't know his stuff, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I met Rusty through my sister. They were friends, and like I'm sure many of you know him, he knew one of you or one of your friends or family, and then you got to know him. He came into my life and my family's, and she took care of every single one of us at one point in time. Right? When my father couldn't be there for my brother and my new sister-in-law's wedding, he hung out with my dad for a whole week. He took care of him because he couldn't go. And my sister's needing help with him in her life. He's been there for her too. And he had a voracious sense for games. He loved to play. He liked to challenge anyone and everything. He was really easy to be around. And he was a good person to all of us. Just knowing the amount of time I've known him and the way he's impacted my life, I imagine how he's impacted all of yours, Chip, Linda, Laura, and Derek. It's gonna be missed. I mean,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll say something.
Okay.
I didn't know Rusty as
Well,
long.
first of all,
I'm sorry.
this is Beth Bashan. She was Rusty's guardian angel throughout his epileptic care that he had here in Dallas. We were so lucky for her to come into his life because she got him into the last program that he was in, and which was hopefully Beth and I were just talking about. It's a tremendous drug, the experimental drug that they were talking about that just worked wonders for Rusty. And through this lady, she had him involved in the program. But God bless you. Thank you for being in our life.
It was a pleasure because the one thing you knew about Rusty is knowing him the way you do, and the short time I knew him, when he walked in a room, it brightened. The whole room just lit up. He was so funny. Had such a raw sense of humor, can we say? But it was comical. He took everything that would happen and not make a big deal out of it. He just wanted to live life like his sister. I think I spoke with you one time, and he was wonderful, and I feel truly blessed to have known him. And I will always look for those attributes that he had in the people that I have in my life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got something to say. My name is Aaron. This is Nika, his little goddaughter. That's my wife Jasmine, and that's my little buddy Talon. Rusty came into my life at the end of 2007, 2008. I was a store manager at PacSun out here in Firewheel. And every single day the boy would come into my store just to talk. And that's all he ever wanted to do, is just whoever would listen to him, he would talk your ear off. And at the end of every talk we ever had, he'd, "Are you hiring?" He said, "No, Rusty, I'm not hiring today. I'll let you know." Well, the next day would come by. "Are you hiring?" He's like, "I can sweep the floors. I can, whatever you need, I'll take the job." Well, about a month later, he came in and we were talking. "Are you hiring?" I said, "You know what? Yeah." And he just got so excited, and from then on, he was just a big part of my life. I met my wife through him. He me and her did not get along when we first met at all. She was a competing store, but him and her would talk and connected, and he said, "You've got to go out with this girl. You've got to go out with this girl." No. Finally got me and her to go to the Londoner. He was there on our first date. He was a part of our first date. And from him putting us together for that first time, and he gave me my wife. Which gave me my little girl and my little boy, and my father coming to Hawaii with us, and we moved to Hawaii shortly after in about 2009, and every day he'd call and, "You got room for one more? You got room for one more?" And I said, "There's always room for you, Rusty." And not too long after he started getting serious about moving out there, I get a call from her. And I got the Linda lecture. He's my baby, and I promised her that I would take care of him, and he was family. And we'd watch over him, and from the day he stepped off that plane, he was so happy. He became very healthy. We all knew him as very slow. I
Not
joke.
penalty, just.
Yeah.
Well, he was never in a hurry.
My nickname for him was Speedy. He's like, "You're the only person that ever called me Speedy Gonzalez." And he always called me Hippie, and my wife was Mrs. Hippie. And every time he asked to call, "Hey Hippie," "No, this is Mrs. Hippie." "Oh, hey Mrs. Hippie." But he was there for 8 months in Hawaii with us, and I never saw the smile on my face. He wanted to go to the beach every day. He wanted to go out. He wanted to be active, adventure. And from what I remember of Rusty and living here, he wouldn't want to walk. He didn't want to go hiking. But he would bug me and my wife, and she was about to burst with Nika. And, "Come on, you can do it. If you give birth out there, I'll deliver the baby." Come on, let's go. And we went to the hospital, and he was there when she was born. He was the 4th person to ever hold my daughter. And he didn't want to let her go once he held her. He wanted her forever, and I told him that I wanted him to be our little girl's godfather, and he just started crying. He said, "I always wanted kids," and I said, "I want to give you them." And she loved Uncle Ruru. And he gave her a giraffe. That was her first little toy, and she still has it and plays with it. And he got homesick and left Hawaii to come back home because he missed his family. But he left a family behind that missed him. And after a lot of talking, we came back to the mainland to see family and see him. And we got to come down here and spend some time with them. And for the last week of his life, we were there. He wanted to take his little goddaughter to Disney World. And he wouldn't let her go. The whole time he did nothing but hold her, love on her. Every day we picked him up, we were just ghosting him. It was, "Hey Nika, hey little girl." They'd run around at Joe's Crab Shack throwing sand at each other and just playing, and he was so happy. And there was one time during that vacation, I talked to Linda about this, that he looked over at me and he said, "Aaron, I get scared sometimes." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I get depressed." And I said, "Why? You love your job." And he said, "I want what you have. I want a wife. I want a son and a daughter. I want 2 kids and a family." And I said, "Well, you've got my kids. They're family. They're your kids. There's not a moment in your heart you shouldn't think that they're your kids." And he said, "I always wanted to name my son a certain name, but unfortunately George Russell runs in the family, so I'm going to have to name my boy George Russell." I said, "Well, what name would you pick?" And he said, "Logan, because everybody knows he loved comic books and his favorite character was Wolverine." I said, "Logan." And shortly after we found out about this, and after that talk with him, we've decided my little boy's middle name, we're switching to Logan to honor him and to kind of give him the son that he always wanted. Because he was not just a friend, that boy was family. He was my brother, a son at times. Get up, clean your closet, get to work. But he touched me and my wife, and my father, I don't know where he is, but he was a son to my father. They used to sit up all until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning watching the Viking shows and the comic book shows, and it was a shock. And this family's gonna miss him, but I know he's gonna be a part of it forever. He's my little girl's angel. And like JT said, she's got the biggest angel with the biggest set of wings wrapped around her. And every morning she asks if she can see Uncle Ruru. And I just tell her she's with us. He's with us forever. But I just want everybody to know he wasn't a friend. He was family. And I can't imagine what his family's going through, but he touched us. And I owe him everything.
Thank you, Aaron. Anybody else like to?
I'm glad he had you all too.
Yeah, we're very, very, very grateful. Yes, we are.
And you, Nika.
I don't say a whole lot. I can't make long speeches. But I just want to thank Linda and Chip for sharing their wonderful son with us for the last 3 years. He was a staple at our house, at my son and his wife's house. Our lives would not be the way they are today without them. So thank you so much for raising such a wonderful man. Thank you.
Plus, he used to bring us all the eggs over because he didn't like eggs. He kept saying, "You need more eggs." I go, "We got enough eggs."
He didn't like eggs?
No.
That's kind of a running joke in our family for
Yeah.
all these years. You know, hey, Rusty, can I make you some fried eggs? Yeah. I don't like eggs. And like his 21st birthday, I was going to make him an egg omelet or something. And he just turned to his mother.
I'm just happy.
Rusty, I'll make you an egg omelet. She turns to Lynn and says, Mom, really? He still doesn't know. So the other night we were talking about, you know, making this kind of a brunch type thing, and I said, yeah, I said, Lord knows, we got plenty of eggs. We'll make scrambled eggs. And Nicole started laughing. I go, what the hell are you laughing at? She said, eggs at Rusty's service? Are you kidding? So that's why we don't have scrambled eggs here.
My wife almost brought deviled eggs this morning. We woke up this morning and she was like, wait, Rusty didn't like eggs. Why don't we bring these over?
Yeah.
Just to spite him, you know.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you about Rusty and eggs. For a time he came to live with me because he was on a special ketogenic diet.
Rusty's grandmother.
I'm his grandmother. Yeah, so he came to live with me, and I knew he had to have certain things, you know, so I started putting eggs and making them eggnogs, and he never knew. He never knew he was having eggs.
He knows now.
I just blew it, didn't I? Yeah, yes, he does, sweetheart.
Can hear you.
He can.
I know he can. But he was special. He was so special. I loved him dearly. And one day we decided we couldn't do that diet anymore. And he didn't want to eat what we had, and he had to eat the oddest things.
Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
Baja
yeah.
Blast.
Lived off of it.
So I felt
would eat that stuff, and I would just, fine, we'll just go. Oh, let's go.
Well, his sister recommended that's where we hold this, instead of having it here, so let's have it at Taco Bell.
So you get one last drink, you know.
One last trip through the drive-thru.
Let me go take a Xantax first.
But certainly it's, his webpage, or his Facebook, I'm sorry, is still up, so anybody that wants to put anything on there and share a story or something, that has been a breath of fresh air for our family to hear about these stories and how much he's touched your all's life like he touched ours. So again,
Well, I remember a story. I
Okay.
was right there. I'm Shannon. I'm Susie's neighbor.
It's my youngest sister.
Tell the story, Heather. Tell the story.
Nicole and Heather, when Nicole was younger, she had a life-size Barbie. So they dressed up the little Barbie. Secretly, nobody knows that he really had a wife because they married him. A life-size Barbie. He was really married.
Their honeymoon was a trip to the trampoline.
Really, really appreciate anybody coming. Like I said, if anybody else has anything they want to say, they can certainly say it. So they're, you know, don't be shy. We're never are.
Derry,
Nope.
do you want to tell the story?
Yes, please do.
I was trying to tell it to Katie, but couldn't do
No,
it
Haley.
justice.
Which one, the toothbrush story?
No.
Which one?
Which one?
Where he gets even with you.
I've heard that one.
Speak up.
Like they said,
No,
Rusty and
it's
I are
good.
very competitive. We always go back and forth wrestling, and I normally beat them. So
He's gonna strike you.
I was like probably 7 years old, and I was running around the house, and Rusty was working at FedEx at the time, and my best friend Sean and I, we just thought it was the best thing, and it was the most fun to just pick on Rusty whenever he was trying to sleep. So we just kept knocking on his door for about an hour. Just eventually one time he came out and he grabbed me and he said, "If you knock on my door one more time, I will kill you." And I mean, of course I was going to knock on the door again. So I went up there and I knocked on the door, and my friend Sean and I booby trapped the whole house, and we ran around, and well, so later that night we didn't catch us, so we ran to basketball practice. But later that night we get home, and you know, I don't know where my parents were. They were out of town doing something, partying. And I get home and I go to flick on the light and it doesn't turn on. And I was like, well, it's New York, you know, power outages, that kind of thing happens. So I go downstairs and I tell my friend Sean, "Hey, just wait up here, I'll be right back." Go down and I try to turn on the fuse box and it's not working. And I was just like, oh no. Right then it just sunk in and hit me, and I yelled upstairs and I was like, Sean, there's no answer.